today for a very exciting, monumental, and game-changing event for Westminster. Today we are going to light our fiber and demonstrate to the people who are here in attendance what that gigabyte feels like, and it's an exciting day.
I love the parallels people have been drawing to building out the railroad and electricity and and those kind of amazing infrastructure accomplishments, and I think it's exactly right. I think that when you look 10 years from now, 20 years from now, at which economies seem to grow and where do the jobs go, it makes all the sense in the world that it's going to be where there's great internet access, and so it's worth celebrating, and it's a really nice accomplishment, and we're proud just to be a part of it.
It's a great day here. You can see the enthusiasm, and we have a great display to be able to show folks how fast the uploads and downloads will be. And this will be coming to every resident in the City of Westminster. And we're proud to be a national leader in the local government areas.
We're going to become an area that is much more viable for businesses to come in and want to do business in Westminster and want to stay in Westminster for the long term.
This is going to be the beginning of an entirely new era in Westminster, where we will be jumping to the front of a very small group of municipalities around the country who have fiber networks and who have gigabit services available to their community. And this is going to create a lot of interesting new opportunities for everybody in Westminster for many, many years to come.
I'm Kevin Utz, Mayor of the City, and national recognition coming out of this event, and I do want to say that this full-driven operation, because that person sitting right there, Dr. Robert WACK. Thank you. Without his leadership and continue pushing, and just so you know, he still has more pushing to do. Right, council members? That's right. So it has been, I will call it a struggle for him to get me on board, to get the council on board, and absolutely to move this project forward. So what I've learned over this past year and a half or so is that what we are embarking on today is something that many cities, many governments wish they could do, and they just haven't had that kind of person. So what I will say, and my remarks are brief, is that I'm proud to be here on this day to at least acknowledge that we are going to become a gigabit city, and that my dream and hope, along with Dr. Wax, is to, and the council, is to entice large business, small business, entrepreneurs who want to work from home, that they would be allowed to pass large files back and forth at gigabit speed and get their jobs done. We're looking at Chris Van Hollen's say, we would like some of those government jobs to come to Westminster now that we're going to have these kinds of speeds. So, with the elected officials here, can I just ask you to stand so I don't be forgetting anyone? Any elected official that's here with us today, just stand for me. Thank you. We have council members. Commissioner, thank you for coming. And I think my final comment is congratulations to all of those, including our partner Ting, and the staff and the hard work and volunteerism of our personnel here. So I want to thank everyone for coming and enjoy the day. This is a big breaking news story around the region. With that, Dr. Robert Wack, the pioneer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have the pleasure and the honor to introduce our guest speaker. GIGI SOHN is a respected leader in telecommunications policy and currently serves as counselor to the chairman in the office of FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler. She was appointed by Chairman Wheeler in November of 2013. GIGI graduated from Boston University summa cum laude and earned her law degree from Penn Law School. From 2001 to 2013, she was president and CEO of Public Knowledge, regarded as one of the preeminent policy advocacy organizations in the communications arena. In addition, she co-chaired the board of directors of the Broadband Internet Technical Advisory Group, as well as served on the board of the Telecommunications Policy Research Conference. She served on the District of Columbia Bar Board of Governors from 1997 to 2000 and has held multiple academic positions at the University of Colorado Law School, the University of Southern California Annenberg Center, the University of Melbourne Faculty of Law Graduate Studies Program, Georgetown University, go Hoyas, and the Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law, Yeshiva University. In 2006, GIGI was honored by the Electronic Frontier Foundation as one of its internet pioneers, and in 2011, the nonprofit Times named GIGI one of its Power and Influence Top 50 nonprofit executives. Westminster is honored to welcome GIGI SOHN.
Good afternoon, everybody. Isn't this awesome? I'm so excited. It's been a great day generally, and this really tops it off. And I want to thank Council President WACK for inviting me to speak today. And it's great to be here in Westminster. And I'm not just saying that because we're really close to the Pennsylvania border, and I could easily score some illegal fireworks for my July 4th party while I'm up here. It really is a pleasure to be here, and this is an auspicious occasion, the lighting of the city's fiber network. My boss, Chairman Tom Wheeler, sends his hearty congratulations. What's happening today is a great example of local communities and their leaders taking control of their broadband future. Dr. WACK and other local leaders recognize the increasingly undeniable fact that true high-speed broadband has become a necessity in our 21st century economy and democracy. Even 5 years ago, people were saying, oh, it's a luxury, you don't need it. Very few people, if any, say that anymore. You concluded that existing broadband offerings were not meeting Westminster's needs, and that the only solution was to become directly involved in plans for broadband deployment. And they're wonderful plans. The city has chosen to engage in a public-private partnership with Ting, which will be providing Westminster with what they call crazy fast fiber internet. It's hard to believe that what you have built is the first community-constructed fiber network in the Mid-Atlantic region. Now, it's interesting. Somebody showed me a map of gigabit networks around the country, and then there is this big hole basically from Washington, D.C. or Virginia up north through Maine. No gigabit networks there. So this is the first, so congratulations for that. What's been developed and built here in Westminster can become a model for other cities in Maryland and across the nation. That is incredibly exciting. And I do truly believe, and I think my boss shares the sentiment with me, is that when people see the power of gigabit networks, when they see the young people moving here, when they see the businesses moving here, they're going to say, I want that too. There are so many things that have impressed me about what you've done here, and I want to take a few minutes to recognize them. First, I admire how strategic your Westminster and Carroll County leaders were in taking the time and engaging in the due diligence necessary to ensure that your vision became a reality. And I appreciate that every step of the way, the process has been open, transparent, and inclusive. And now I know that this fiber network didn't just pop up overnight. From what I understand, this all started with Dr. WACK's efforts to get Carroll County to expand its middle mile network over 10 years ago. These kind of jobs are not for the impatient. You've got to be super patient, but look at the payoff. The success of this expansion laid the foundation for Westminster's own exploration into deploying a citywide network, starting with 2 pilot projects 2 summers ago. one residential pilot at the Carroll Lutheran Village, and one business pilot at the Westminster Technology Park. Second, I applaud the innovative public-private partnership you have built with Ting. This partnership promotes a type of teamwork not often found in the marketplace. Instead of being adversaries, you are partners, committed to delivering the best broadband to the citizens of Westminster. Even better, the partnership reduces the financial risk to the city and citizens of Westminster because the burdens and benefits of the network are shared by the partners. As a result, everyone has the incentive to work as hard as possible to ensure that the network succeeds. Last, but not least, the open access model that Westminster has with Ting is an approach that I believe will reap benefits to the citizens of Westminster for many years to come. For those of you who are unfamiliar with open access, this model will provide Ting with temporary exclusivity in delivering services to Westminster for either 2 years or when a minimum number of subscribers are activated, whichever occurs first. At that point, the city will have the ability to open up the network to allow other broadband access providers to enter the market. The resulting competition will mean lower prices and better services for consumers. And there will be other benefits stemming from a community's investment in a fiber network. I'd like to highlight 3. First, as I said before, Westminster will be getting crazy fast fiber internet. Now, I know what fast fiber internet is. I'm not quite sure what crazy fast fiber internet is, but I look forward to seeing what it is. Now, as I understand it, about 10,000 homes and businesses in the community will be able to receive up to a 1 gigabit per second internet connection. So let me give you some perspective on how fast that really is. So according to Akamai, the average US broadband connection is 12 megabits per second download. 12. So we're talking about almost 10 times, I'd say like 9 times faster. Fine, 12 megabits per second. Doing online is minimal browsing at night while streaming a movie on Netflix. A gigabit speed means faster video streaming, faster photo uploading, faster everything for the multiple devices in homes and businesses. But more importantly, it means, among other things, for workers to telecommute, for students young and old to take college courses online, for kids to do their homework, for doctors to check on patients, and for citizens to interact with their state, local, and federal governments. Second, Westminster will become a global leader in gigabit broadband. Westminster is at the cutting edge, not just of community broadband, but of broadband internet access worldwide. Westminster will join an elite group of cities, including Chattanooga, Kansas City, and Austin, and cities around the world like Hong Kong, Seoul, and Tokyo that will be delivering up to 1 gigabit per second internet connections to its residents and businesses. Third, Westminster's gigabit network will promote economic growth and the well-being of its citizens, and that's probably the most important thing. We have seen time and again that community broadband networks bring with them many benefits that go far, far beyond mere speed. For example, Chattanooga, Tennessee used to be famous as America's dirtiest city. Chattanooga's Electric Power Board, or EPB, became the first in the nation to offer gigabit service to all of its customers. Since then, Chattanooga has seen companies like Amazon and Volkswagen invest in new facilities, and the city has started its own incubator. It is now known as the Gigabit City. Entrepreneurs and users. Investment started in Westminster even before the first customer has been served. Last year, Carlisle, etc., a woman's fashion clothing company, New York City to Westminster. Carlisle moved its distribution center down and is moving some portion of their IT operations here to take advantage of Westminster's fiber network. And I understand that the city is considering building an incubator as well. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see the same influx of people and resources once your network gets up and running. As the mysterious voice said to Kevin Costner in the movie Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. With your investment in fiber infrastructure, possibilities and prospects for this community moving forward are endless. You have not only made an investment in a network, but an investment in Westminster's future. Please be assured that the FCC is an ally to Westminster and all communities looking to offer their citizens more competitive choices for true high-speed internet. We are committed to cutting through the bureaucratic red tape to accelerate and lower the cost of broadband deployment. For example, our recent open internet order eased access to utility poles and other conduits necessary to broadband deployment. We also approved petitions from the leaders of Chattanooga and Wilson, North Carolina, to preempt the restrictive state laws hampering investment and deployment of broadband in their states. We believe local elected to make their own decisions about their broadband future. Today, the leaders of Westminster remind us why that freedom is so important. I want to congratulate you again for being a model for other communities to emulate. Chairman Wheeler and we look forward to working with you to deliver the benefits of broadband to your community. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you, Gigi. Just want to recognize once again Catherine Provost from Congressman Van Hollen's office. There you are, Catherine. Thank you for coming. And we also have Commissioner Richard Weaver here from the Carroll County Commissioners. And I think that's it from the Commissioners. So I'm just going to make a couple brief remarks, say a whole bunch of thank yous, and maybe tell a few very brief stories. Just yesterday, I was doing some reading about something else. It's about sustainable energy. And there's this great quote from a CEO of an electric utility up in Vermont. She said, "Innovation only happens when there are no guarantees." And this project is a perfect example of no guarantees. As Mayor Etz said, it took some convincing to bring my colleagues along on this, but they eventually came around. And I want to first off thank Mayor Etz for his leadership and for his support to make this happen, because if he didn't say yes, it wouldn't happen. And I also want to thank my colleagues on the council, Tony Cavacci, Greg Pecoraro, Mona Becker, Suzanne Albert, for their support as well, because again, this is a team effort and nobody can do it by themselves. I also want to recognize some people from way, way back. This project couldn't happen without a whole series of events that happened before. And Gigi mentioned the Carroll County Public Network. Back in 2003, 2004, a small group of people got together to start putting that together. And I want to recognize Steve Powell, who's here, and Gary Davis from the Carroll County Public Schools, and Ken Decker, the former town manager of Hampstead and former chair of the Cable Regulatory Commission. Those three guys, as well as the leadership of the Carroll County Public Library and the Carroll Community College, formed the nucleus of the group that went to the commissioners back then to get the funding to build the Carroll County Public Network, which is the middle mile network that the Westminster Fiber Network depends on to get out to the county, or to get outside the county and around the county. And the Westminster Fiber Network could not happen unless those guys did that work back then. So thank you very much, Steve and Gary and Ken and all the other people involved in the CCPN. I'd also want to recognize the three commissioners at that time, Julia Gouge, Dean Minnick, and Perry Jones. Just like Mayor Utz, they were the people who said yes and wrote the check. And unless you have elected officials with that kind of authority willing to take that responsibility and make those decisions, these kinds of things won't happen. So again, thank you, Julia Gouge, Dean Minnick, and Perry Jones. I want to acknowledge Mark Ripper at Carroll County Government, and as well as the commissioners of Carroll County. Thank you, Commissioner Weaver, for all the support they've given us standing this up. It's been absolutely a collaborative effort. We did not do this by ourselves. Mark and his team have helped us at every step of the way getting this up and running. I also want to recognize the CTC team, Matt DeHaven's here, as well as Joanne Hovis and Andrew Affelbach and their entire team of engineers who have helped us from the very beginning with our feasibility study, our business plan, the engineering, and then assisting us with the construction of this. They've been invaluable partners. I want to acknowledge Brian Holsenbake and Skyline Networking. They also have been very, very helpful, helping us troubleshoot specific problems as they've come up, helping us reach out to other people, other agencies around the state, and they are going to be very valuable partners going forward as well. I want to acknowledge Henkels & McCoy. They are our construction company. They've done a fabulous job for us on this pilot project. We get tons of very positive feedback from businesses and residents about how courteous and helpful their people are, and we really appreciate all the excellent work they've done for us. I want to acknowledge Mike Fowler and BG&E. Mike really stepped in and helped solve some problems at the last minute for us, and I really appreciate the help he gave. And I want to acknowledge former Council President Roy Cavacci. He's just walked in. Thank you, Mr. Cavacci. Oh, hello, Anna. I also want to recognize the city staff. You know, Mayor Utz was very kind, said some nice things about me, but let's face it, city staff are the ones that do all the work. Jeff Glass, Tammy Palmer, City Administrator Marge Wolf, Mike Matov, and especially Mike Purnell. Mike's here. Mike was our person on the ground, went out and did some very specific problem solving with businesses and was a huge help. And Bob Miller's here. Bob was also one of the leads for us on a day-to-day basis, helping get things done. So thank you very much. I also want to recognize Wayne Reef-Snyder. Wayne basically does everything. And Wayne helped with this at the last second. Wayne is the kind of guy that basically you say, Wayne, can you do this? And he'll go, okay, and it gets done. So thank you, Wayne. I want to give a shout out to the Maryland Department of Information Technology, Greg Urban, Dave Mangrum, Dennis McGilligan, and their whole team. They've also been very supportive from the very beginning. I've been talking to them about this for more than 2 years, and they've been a big help to us, and we really appreciate their assistance. I want to thank Andy and Barb Biller, our hosts, for letting us use this space. We really appreciate their hospitality. Thank you, Missy, where are you? Thank you for putting on such a beautiful event, and thank you to our vendors for supporting the City of Westminster. I want to thank our Ting team, our partners. When we met back in Austin, I don't know, when was that? A year and a half ago, I guess. It was, who knew? And it's been a real pleasure getting to know everybody. ELLIOT, Adam Eisner, VALERIE, BORTZ, Jeff CORNEJO this week, and everybody else on the Ting team. You guys are great partners. We were really, really lucky to have met you and been able to put this agreement together. I want to thank Jim Baller from Baller Herbst law firm, whose wisdom and guidance helped navigate us through this tricky and complicated process, and we really appreciate your help. Last, I want to thank two people who aren't here. I got my start in telecommunications way back because of my brother, John, and one of my best friends from college, Michael Roberts. We started a company, and it failed. But we learned an awful lot about telecommunications, and it was that experience that when I came to the city and got on the Cable Regulatory Commission, sort of planted these seeds that have mutated into these ideas that we are now dealing with now. So I want to thank those two for embarking on that adventure, that failed entrepreneurial attempt, but you know, something always comes out of it. And last, I want to thank my wife Lisa and my kids, Sarah, Michael, and Jeffrey. They've been with me this whole way, and I really appreciate it. So thank you. So now it's time for Elliot, right? Let's find Elliot. Elliot Noss is the CEO of Ting. Do you want me to stand here, Jeff? Stay here?
Yes. Just let me know when I'm through. I hear your music perfectly. Excellent. Excellent. So thank you for that. Jeff, could you maybe kill your music? Because I'm still hearing it. Excellent. No, I hear no music. Well, thank you. So I'm speaking to you today. Oh, you've got some reverb now, Jeff. I apologize. I can hear myself really well bouncing back through my speakers. Why don't you go to your live demo, put somebody else on this? I'm hearing myself perfectly clearly, but with about 30-second delay. So in other words, I'll talk, and then it'll bounce back at me.
Sorry, Elliot. So my name is Jeff Cornejo, and I'm a product manager at Ting. I guess I'm a product manager at Tucows, which owns Ting. Until recently, I was one of the owners at Blue Ridge Networks in Charlottesville, Virginia, along with my partner Baylor, who's back here. And we built our fiber network back in 2009, 8, an eternity ago, and just recently became the, I guess, first Ting city, launching our product June 1st. And I'll show you some part of the demo where that came in. But so the good news is, right, we're going to have a demo. The bad news is I'm not doing it, because it would not be fair for me to be the one to drive the internet demo here. So Dr. WACK is going to do the actual demo. I hope it goes better than Elliot's call. Sorry, Elliot, again. Yeah, we'll get to that. Flip phone. Actually, you know what? This thing is kind of in the way, so I'm going to just move it out of the way. All right. So yeah, it's crazy fast internet, and I'm going to show you crazy fast internet, but it really has two parts to it. One of which is the speed, and the other is the latency. People just usually think of the speed like it's a gig and it's fast enough, but really the two go hand in hand, and it's about being able to have a fast response to stuff. You might have some application you're using where you don't need a lot of speed, but you need a fast response in the application. And I'll show you some of these. So the way that we're laid out here is you're going to see what I call my screen over here, and I'm going to show you the actual utilization on the network, how much bandwidth is being used, and maybe one other thing over here. Over here, you get to see Dr. WACK's screen and what he's doing. So the fun's over here. The boring part behind the scenes is going to be over here. All right? By the way, he has no idea what he's going to do. I hear you're eminently trainable, though.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got it. He's got it? Yeah. Okay. Just hang on. No, just stay right there. I had no input, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't me.
We'll debate later about who's
And how are we now?
You sound great.
Excellent. And we figured out, I apologize to all of you there, this was stupid user error. I was watching the Ustream feed and was hearing that reverberate back to me. So, with that embarrassing start, let me thank you all for coming out here today. You know, I started to say that I'm in my hotel room right now in Buenos Aires. And here, it's a meeting of ICANN, which is the regulator for domain names. And I can tell you that here, because of a bunch of regulatory issues around domain names, I've had the opportunity to meet one of the senior staffers of the House Majority, one of the senior staffers of the House Minority, and one of the senior Senate staffers, the Senate Majority staffer, as well as Larry Strickling, the head of the NTIA. These were all on domain name issues. But as soon as they heard about this fiber project, all of them, each one of them, were peeling me off to hear about what was going on in Westminster. So, you know, I can tell you that when GIGI SOHN has talked about people being excited about projects like this, she really means it. You know, Dr. Wack and I first met, as he was saying last April, about 15 months ago. And it's remarkable how much progress has been made in just that 15 months. Here we are, I think when Dr. Wack and I first started talking about it, we looked at each other and just said, this really is a lot simpler than people make it. As long as the parties are working together and are kind of lined up and pulling in the same direction, this is not as complicated as people make it out to be. So I think the first thing that I want to do is to thank Dr. Wack, not for all of his help, but for thanking everybody involved so that I didn't have to carry such a long list with me to Argentina and then try and remember them. But I will tell you that I do want to thank Mayor Utz, I do want to thank GIGI SOHN for coming up today, and I do want to thank Bob Wack. I think that the people of Westminster do need to know just how visionary he has been around a project like this. We met, as I mentioned, 15 months ago. Very quickly, we started to get on stream with the opportunity to work together. And already, just 12 months later at the Austin Summit last April, people are already calling public-private partnerships like this the Westminster model. And I really believe that 2, 3, 5 years from now, that phrase, the Westminster model, is going to be just a part of the jargon in public-private partnerships in fiber building. We're at the start right now of what I believe and what Ting believes is a 15 to 20 year fiberization of the United States. There are nearly 20,000 towns and cities across the United States. Between now and the next 15 or 20 years, just about every one of them is going to be getting fiber to the home. The internet, we all know the impact it's had. But to date, we've tried to jam the internet through infrastructure intended first for telephone, then for television. Fiber is the first purpose-built infrastructure for the internet. So I will tell you that in the short term, you in Westminster are going to see crazy fast internet. You're going to see a better internet experience. You're going to have the pleasure of actually enjoying interacting with your telecom company. And I mean it when I say that. But all of that is small. In the long term, you're going to be one of the first cities in the United States to see how transformational fiber can be. It will be in the next year, 3 years, 5 years, when you're seeing what especially young people who grow up bathed in super fast internet like this do with it. Things that we can't even imagine, that you'll really start to feel this impact. So I will tell you that as a rabid internet user myself, I am deeply envious of you. But as a parent, I have a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old, I can't tell you how much I wish they would have the opportunity to have gigabit fiber, super fast internet around them. So from my perspective, we're very, very lucky to have found you, all of you in Westminster. And I think that you're going to be very, very lucky that you've got a network in a project like this. And with that, I'd like to just extend my warm thanks again and throw it over to Jeff.
Thanks, Elliot. Thank you. Hey, Elliot, can you? He left on me. Okay. So I just want to take it real quick and show you what's going on over here. So that call actually was over this internet connection. The green line is Elliot's signal coming into us. This line right here is 10 megabit per second. The blue line is the signal that we were sending out from that little camera over there, and it was about 5 meg per second. It was an HD stream. I'm really curious how he was coming in so hot. But You'll see this. This is going to shift up and down, and I'll read out the different scales because I know it's hard to see, but at least you'll get a sense of the different lines. And you can see he went away, and the signal dropped down. All right, where were we? I was going to show you something.
Sure.
Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. We're going to work left to right.
Okay.
That's kind of how we read. So go ahead and fire up Chrome. Trainable, imminently trainable is what you said?
Tap. There you go.
Great, okay. So the first thing I want to show you is something that Gigi referred to, which is what the current speeds are in the area. So go ahead and bring up that guy right there. Just click on that link.
Oh, Westminster.
Yep. Oh, wrong one. Huh? I gave you the wrong one. That one right there. Yeah. So this is the public net index for this area. This shows you over the last month about what the, and I'm sorry that you guys over here can't see, so I'm going to try to read it off. It's a big glare for you. No, you're good? Okay. So this is showing you for this area approximately what's been metered over the last 30 days. People in this area have gone to speedtest.net, clicked on a button, run a speed test, and this is what they're coming up with. Your average download speed is about 40 meg. Your average upload speed is about 8 meg. So we'll call it, 40 by 8. Now, this is averaged information. So, Dr. Wack, if right next to Maryland there's an I, could you hover over that for a second? Yep. So this is from May 27th through June 25th, 17,500 unique IP addresses, which I think compromises probably most of the population in the area, have run close to 60,000 tests in here. This is kind of your demand right now. These are people that are concerned about the speed of their internet, and they're going and clicking on something to find out how fast they're going. The real question is, why are people worried about the speed of the internet? People don't worry about how much power they have or how much, what your PSI is for water coming into your house, right? I mean, if I asked anybody what the PSI coming into their house was, unless you're a contractor, you probably have no idea. But most people know that they have 30 by 6 at home or 100 by something or another. Everyone knows that, but really, why do you know that? You don't need that information. Your internet should be pervasive. It should be on. It should just be always available to you. It should be like oxygen. And that's kind of what the Ting internet experience is about. All right. Can you scroll down this page a little bit? Great. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. So this shows you a little bit of a trend line for what's going on. And you can see, if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see there's only one ISP showing up here. And you'll see their trend line kind of going up this way. So their speeds are kind of growing a little bit, not terribly much. All right, go to that, on the toolbar, that next circle that says Charlottesville. I'm going to show you what's going on in Charlottesville just in the last 30 days. We officially launched June 2nd? 2nd-ish. And the average speed is still about 40 meg in Charlottesville. But cruise down this page a little bit. Keep going, keep going, keep going a little bit more. Oh, hey. So we showed up 5 days ago finally on the speed test, and average clocked in at 348 meg on the public speed tests out there. I don't know why people are still checking their speeds, but they are. I guess. Anyway, so just to show you the impact, and you can kind of see the hockey stick over here of the speeds kind of growing up, the average speed going up. So we hope to see that here, in the next few months, that kind of thing. So should we just rip the Band-Aid off? You want to run a speed test? Go ahead. That second link over. Yep. So, hey, let's just do it. Just go ahead and run the speed test. I have no idea what's going to happen. Sorry, Elliot. And it's growing. And it's probably going to top right around 700 and some meg. Let's see the other direction. This is live. I mean, this is really using your network that you built, fiber network, real equipment, real internet. I'm going to give that one like an okay. I mean, come on. But it is crazy fast, right? I mean, it's not 40 meg. Dr. WACK ran this, but don't thank me, thank him. Do it again, hit restart test. Right at the top. That wasn't good enough for me. So the variability of the speed tests happen for lots of reasons. There's all kinds of equipment in between the two different components. And so it's always imprecise, but you're trying to get somewhere close to 70 to 80% of your circuit capacity, which is what we're getting right here. Now, this graph over here shows you the actual fun. This line right here is 800 meg. If anyone can see all the way over that way. This is 800 meg right here. And you can see the green, right, was inbound traffic. The blue is outbound traffic. Kind of boring, right? This is the boring stuff that's happening. So about the same. We'll come back later and give it another try. Let's go ahead and just try a public speed test now, which is that third favorite, and it says speedtest.net. There you go. So this is the public one. This is what you would normally go to. All those tests that you saw come from this gory screen right here. So click on Begin Test, right in the middle. It picks a server for you. This one's going to be in Washington, D.C. Now this is going off our network, onto the public network, traversing a couple networks, hitting another server, and it's coming back. And it's a luck of the draw to see if that server is going to be busy or not. But hey, 850. Oh, does it have enough? So an artifact like this where you see where it's only going 500, this is probably the server on the other side that can't handle it. These servers, by the way, are designed around 50 meg speed tests. So when we're crushing it with a gig, an operator somewhere just fell out of his chair because a red alarm went off. And you'll see over here, right, the graphs are kind of what you'd expect to see. A little green, a little blue. All right, we good? You want to run it again just for good measure? Sure. I mean, I don't know, it's up to you. It's your network.
I'm happy.
He's happy. Oh, I like that. Okay, let's see. What else do I have for you on here? I have a bunch of stuff. Okay. So, GIGI, you mentioned about business applications, and I'm going to do the boring demo now of all the standard business things, including ELLIOT requested one particular thing. This was very important for him, so we're going to go ahead and do this one. A standard thing that people would do would be to download software, right? You would say, I want to go download something. So click on the App Store, which is right there. The A, yep. Yep. Are you a PC user?
I have a flip phone, give me a break.
We'll change that. All right, go ahead and click on Purchases right there. So this is something pretty simple that people would do at home. They'd say, or at work, and say, I need to download the latest version of some operating system. This is, by the way, these are all the junk that I buy. So this is the new operating system, OS X Yosemite right there. All right, hold down the Option key for me. Yep, and click on Download. And what this is going to do is this is going to go ahead and download this. Yes. Yes. Of course we do. Now, we're going out, we're hitting Apple's server. It's 5.6 gig in size. And over here, how fast are we going? Well, that was 400 meg. This is 600 meg now. This is a 5 gig file coming down here at 600 meg per second against Apple's public server. By the way, they're also freaking out right now. They're not, I mean, they're not used to seeing this kind of stuff. Their services are not designed around this. It used to be that your home or your business was the limiting factor. You could only go to the internet at 25 meg. You could only download it 25 meg. You could only upload it 6. That's painful. And so they designed their services around that. And now they're going to have to start designing their services around bigger capacity because the folks from Westminster are showing up and trying to download Yosemite all kinds of times. By the way, that was 5 gig, and we're already 4 gig downloaded out of it. A standard HD movie is about 4 gig. So you would have had your movie fully downloaded and ready to go. So I'm guilty of this. You get in the car, you're getting ready to go on vacation, you have 2 screaming kids in the back. They open up their iPads and they say, we don't have any movies on here. And then you have to run back in the house and hook up their iPads to download some movies. Normally that 4 gig download might take you like an hour. 50 minutes depending on if it's a good day. Well, you just did this now in a couple minutes and you can get back on the road. You'll experience this. Hey, are we done? It finished? It's unbelievable. It's crazy fast. That's crazy fast. All right, let's go ahead and get you out of this. All right, so that was absolute boring demo number 1 that I was required to do. Boring demo number 2, let's see, which one should that be? Ah, the duck. Can you click on the duck for me? So normally companies, one thing they do is they want to back up their data. And backing up your data used to be you would go ahead and buy a bunch of tapes. Yeah, change. You would buy a bunch of tapes, stick them in your tape drive. It would run for a day. Then you'd have to do something with your tapes, like move them off site, contract with Iron Mountain or someone like that to come unload this stuff that you had no idea what to do with. Recently, people have been moving their backups over the internet, off site. Well, those backups take a long time. If you have 6 meg of upload and you have a terabyte of data sitting in your office, which is not uncommon. We have lots of customers that have a terabyte of data. That backup would take in excess of 24 hours, at which point you're starting all over again. Oh, and that whole time, your upload capacity was fully maxed out, so nobody could use the internet for anything else, right? It was that syndrome that you probably had. If you're like me growing up, you always heard, please don't flush the toilet when mom's taking a shower. That was me. And it's the same thing, right? You've walked around the house saying, or the office going, who's downloading, who's uploading? I can't get to my presentation. I can't do the video conference call I need to do, all that. It's gone. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Crazy fast internet. So what we have here is, I just made some backup files on this machine. It is a couple gig in size. So let me see. I can't remember how I had this going. Let's see if I can. Are you connected already? Hey, you're connected already. So go ahead and drag the backups folder and just drop it right onto there. Yeah, yep. All right. Yeah, say continue. Now, this is 2 gig of data being uploaded over FTP to a server somewhere on the internet. And it's up over 600 meg at this point. Again, this is like the boringest demo I could do for you. I'm sorry. But this is what crazy fast internet is. You're going to be able to take your backups or any other data you have, move it off your network onto a server in no time at all. I mean, this is 2 gig. Oh, it's done. Yeah. There you go. 600 meg per second, not bad. Hey, you're doing really good, by the way. Let's see. Oh, by the way, that was Elliot's demo. That's the one he wanted, was FTP. So I'm just going to cross that one off my list. Maybe onto some more interesting things. You know, people really don't know what they're going to use the internet for these days. And there are new applications that are coming out all the time that redefine how we work. So a fairly standard one is, I guarantee that everyone in here has had a document they're working on, and they've needed someone to review it, and they've mailed them the document, emailed them, hopefully, the document. Although I do know lawyers that print it out and use FedEx still. But you've emailed someone the document, hoping for them to look at it, make some edits, make some changes, then send it back to you via email. And then you open it up, make some changes, and send it back to them. And you do this for 6 or 7 times. So, companies nowadays are using tools that allow them to just bypass all that. And they're doing online collaborative document editing at the same time. WACK, you want to do one? Yeah. I'm just enjoying giving him a hard time. Let's see. Let's try this one.
Here?
Nope, next one over.
This.
Yeah, I'm skipping her. Yeah, let's try Safari. Now, this is an instance where you don't need a whole lot of bandwidth, but you would really like to have a fast connection. So, oh, Jesus. So I had this great idea that, Dr. Wack probably liked Letterman, and he never got a chance to go on Letterman and read his preferred top 10 list. I'm going to guess. You probably watched Letterman. Does he watch Letterman? Did he? Yeah. All right, go ahead and open that document. So what this is a link into Google Docs, and it's going to open up Dr. Wack's top 10 reasons to move to Westminster, Maryland, which I didn't write. He wrote all by himself. Now, it's running in a browser. He can go ahead and edit the document, but at the same time, and it shows you, where you are. So by the way, I'm in the document also. It's a little weird because it has my name in 2 places, but I'm going to come here and say, we're currently both editing the document. If you don't like that, you can just delete it. You see? So, stupid demo, collaborative document working. We didn't have to email anything to each other. Oh, see, get off his document. I got an answer for him. But collaborative documents. This right here, we really hadn't used it a whole lot until we started working with Ting, and these guys do it all the time. I mean, we're always doing a press release or something, collaborative documents. I think that this is so underutilized. It sounds kind of boring, but really, the bandwidth over here is this is 1.5 meg per second, right? You don't need a whole lot of speed, but you do need a little bit of latency. No latency, less latency to accomplish that. Do you want to read your list? Do you want me to read your list? I told you I was going to read your list. So I've never really been to Westminster before. I've driven through here, going up to Hershey. So top 10 reasons to move to Westminster: really good music at local bars, common ground on the hill, and the many national acts that pass through. Is that accurate, somewhat? All right, number 9, local festivals, including the Maryland Wine Festival, Microbrewers Beer Festival, Flower and Jazz, Fall Fest, and many more. How many festivals do you guys have here? Sounds good. Parks and trails to keep you fit and in touch with nature, which Adam really likes. He's a runner. Rich local stories for history buffs. I read there's some motto about history in the future. Sounds good. Green hills and farm fields as far as the eye can see. Yes. When I drove in, I was behind no less than 6 different mowing companies. So there's a lot of stuff to mow around here. 4 seasons of weather that'll always let you know where you are on the calendar. Perfect. A hot cup of coffee and delicious breakfast anywhere on Main Street at many great places. Especially Jenny Bird. I've been there twice. They know me. They know my name. It's kind of fun. Local sports and rec leagues for any kind of fan or athlete. I like that. Friendly, welcoming neighbors. That's maybe one of the best reasons. And I think he did this for me, but I don't know. And now crazy fast fiber internet. Yes, Dave likes this. So that's Dr. Wack's top 10 that he never got to read to Dave Letterman. You're doing great.
Thank you. What was
that it? What are you talking about? We have a few more to do. All right. Now I'm going to do one that's just a little bit more involved. This is where you really need to, okay.
Focus.
So Dr. Wack really doesn't like being a doctor. He really wants to be a photographer. This is his passion. He loves photography. So go ahead and fire up that guy for me right there. And he has a new project he's working on. Actually, while that's coming up, can you come back over here? Well, no. Let's get you back on track. There we go. So he's got this cool new photography project he's working on. Click on that right there. He's going around town, and he's finding local people. And he's taking their picture, and he's putting them up on the site. By the way, I met Stephanie the other day, and I saw her again today. Well, actually, I didn't see her. I saw her twin sister. It was really awkward. When I said, hey, your picture turned out great yesterday, and she looked at me like, who are you? You're kind of weird. What kind of coffee do you want? So scroll down this page a little bit. So these are all people that I've met since I've been here in Westminster the last couple days. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how Dr. Wack would use the internet to make something like this to have a better experience. Okay, let's go to Lightroom. Oh, it's still coming up. Should have gotten a faster machine. Know any songs? Oh, Jeopardy. There we go. Okay, so what we have here is we had some volunteers today from Carroll County Media who graciously became subjects for this experiment. So what a photographer would normally do is they'd say, okay, I've taken some pictures, I have a client, I need the client to proof them, I really don't know, I would have to do the equivalent of sticking them on a thumb drive, taking them over there, showing them that. We're going to use the power of the internet to make this work. Latency is really important here. So these are ones that you've taken, and what you're going to do is you're going to let your reviewer decide which ones of these they get to choose from. So go ahead and find 1, 2, 3, or 4, and hit the letter P on ones that you like. Right, so you've picked that one. Great. Okay, so what you did is you chose a couple of those, and those have gone into this queue over here. Click on it, called Ones I Like, and they'll show up. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have someone else look at these and figure out which ones they really like out of those. And if the demo cooperates, we'll have some pictures. Yay, there we go. So, let's see, where's your wife? There you are. So, oh, over here. All right, so these are the pictures he's chosen. Now, I'm guessing that you probably sometimes censor him and say, that's good, that's not good. By the way, those pictures went from there up to the internet, into Adobe servers. Adobe compressed them, did whatever, and sent them back down here. Okay. So let's find maybe a couple of these, like he chose these last 4. Do you like them, not like them?
That one.
You like it? I mean, it's kind of out of focus. No? Let's go this way. What about that one?
Yeah.
No? That one?
Yeah.
No? What about that one?
That's good.
Yeah, okay. Give it a little star down there. So what's going to happen is she's started, she's approved it. Reverse the process, the signal goes up, bounces around through Adobe's cloud, lands over here in Dr. Wack's computer, somewhere along the way. So go on to approved right there. Hey, look at that. And the picture that she chose shows up right there. Now, you're like, great, now I get to publish it. So click on that picture again, hit the letter B. And what it does is it puts it down here in this piece of software. Click on where it says library right there. Yep. And what these are ready to publish. You can tell it shows you there's got these 7 photos were published. 1 is ready to publish. Hit the publish button. Yep, it's right up there. Yep. And it says updating published collection. So now it's going to go ahead and it's going to upload the photo to that website we were looking at, and within some amount of time, yay, it moved. Flip back over to Safari. Or was it Chrome? Chrome is where we were, right? Hit refresh over there, over here. Hey, look at that, and Mark made the site. Congratulations, Mark, you're online. So again, simple demo showing how people can use the internet in ways that are not things we traditionally think of, just I have some software, I want to upload it to people. All that is just totally obfuscated here. Nobody said how much bandwidth do you have, how are you going to use this bandwidth. None of that appeared anywhere, right? You're just using tools. You expect the internet to be there, to be pervasive, just like you would your power or your water. When you walk in your house, you probably don't flip on the light switch and go, am I going to have power today? Is it going to work? Is my vacuum going to come on? It just does.
So how big are these files?
The original files that you uploaded were about 30 meg in size each. And so they went kind of in the blink of an eye. And we used not a whole lot of bandwidth over there. But the latency is important. So I think you did a pretty good job. All right. But there's always kind of one little app somewhere that's always going to crush your network, right? You want to crush the network?
Let's crush it.
OK. Go ahead and open up Steam. Steam.
Steam
now,
crushes my network.
So I had no idea what Steam was. I was asked to present a demo like this for the Tucows board. And I'm sitting there with a bunch of customer service engineers. And I'm saying, guys, what do I do? I have all these traditional things. And two guys sitting off in the corner said, well, you could use Steam. And hence my education to Steam came up. Yep, close that thing. And let's make it easier. Do you see a controller all the way up in the corner? Double click on that. I know. This app is terrible. So you have to do this, right? You have to do this to kind of get it back. I knew I shouldn't have done this one. Steam's going to let me down. Well, so the Steam app, if it ever shows up, Steam is a gaming community, online gaming community that probably no one in this room, has anyone heard of Steam in this room? Wow, OK. How did you hear about Steam?
My son Ryan played games.
Son Ryan, how old?
Now he's 26.
26. When did he start playing? About 5 years ago?
Oh, no, earlier.
Steam? Earlier than that? Yeah. So I'm guessing that you are probably one of those people that was at home saying, what's wrong with the internet?
Yeah, we knew when he was on, yes.
You knew when he was on the internet. Exactly. So that's what Steam does. Can we go back and see if Steam is going to... Let's do this. So Steam is a gaming community. It has millions and millions and millions of members. Am I getting oh, hey, here we go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and drive this one. Is it going to cooperate or not? Yay, boo. Hey, guess what? That means we're not going to do the Steam demo. OK. Let's move to other crazy fast internet stuff. Huh?
I think we move on because there's other people who need to speak.
Yeah. OK.
So I think we've demonstrated.
We're good?
Yeah.
So I'm going to get the yank right now.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. By the way, if anyone has any questions about this, please let me know. I'm here through the rest of the day. I'm also going to let you, at the end of this presentation, get on the network yourself and try it. So stick around. And I'll pass it on to Val. Thanks. 5. Try 5.
Are we good? So I know many faces in this room, but for those of you who I have not met formally, I am the newly selected Ting Westminster City Manager. And so I am here to bring Ting to you. And hopefully, after that presentation, you're thinking, yeah, I'm ready. I want that. Anybody thinking they want that? Okay, good. All right. So, Jeff, you convinced a quarter of the room. All right, just slow down. Slow down. All right. So, we're going to talk about getting this crazy fast gigabit internet. If you are a business or a resident who wants this internet, we're ready for you. Okay, we've got some packages that we want to share with you, some details. For the business side, we have a gigabit package that we are offering for $139 a month. On the home side, we have two plans. We have an outstanding speed at a reasonable price, and we have a reasonable price or a reasonable speed for an outstanding price. We have, as I just shut down, a gigabit for $89 a month. And we have a 5 up, 5 down for $19 a month. Okay, so we've got two packages for you to choose from. There's a one-time install fee and no contract, which is pretty cool. We have an all-in-one modem gateway that we bring to your house, and that's all the equipment that you need. Looks like this, kind of pretty. It'll soon say Ting on the side of it, kind of fancy. And there's no additional equipment required. It's the modem, and it's got the wireless signal to send around your home, both from which you get the gigabit speed, up to the gigabit speed. And my favorite part, and I'm learning more and more about Ting. I've been employed by Ting for less than a month, but what I'm learning very quickly is that they are proud of what they do. We are proud of what we do. We are proud of the customer service, the technical support, and when you've got a service backed by that, you really are getting a great value. So now, Jeff, I need you to go to ting.com/Westminster, because now we're ready to sign up. Barb, you're ready to sign up, right? All right. Your address is? We have gone to, real quick, Jeff, before you press anything to go past the screen, when you go to ting.com/Westminster, you're going to find this, enter your address here to check for service. So now, 1280 Landing Lane, Jeff. Of course, we're in Westminster. Order now. You ready to order? Go ahead, click order now. Now, the thing that you need to hear is Barb is in the phase here at Intellitech where we are ready to go. We are in our last steps of finishing up the network, and we'll be ready to contact her for an install in the next couple weeks. We offer her the work gigabit plan for $139 a month, where we are up to 1 gig up, down, down, up. She's going to select that plan. Brings her to a sign up. She's going to fill out the form. She's going to click sign up, and we're not going to do that now, Jeff. We're just showing. And then someone from Ting will be calling you to set up an install, and the local Ting install crew will be coming to this building to pull wires through the wall, just like we did last week to prepare for today. All right, let's back up to ting.com/Westminster again, because now we should look at the resident side. Let me get my address here. Jeff, if you could plug in 1268 Fairway Drive. Anybody live at 1268 Fairway Drive? Okay. Order now. I guess because we clicked order now once already, it's remembering. So, there we go. So the resident of that address has two packages to choose from, the home gigabit for $89 a month, the home 5.5 for $19 a month. Okay, so once we get the access agreement signed, the city has brought fiber to your house, then we are going to light it up. And you do the same thing. You pick your package, you select, you fill out the form, and a Ting representative will be in touch with you to schedule installation. Okay? So for those of you who maybe, like me, are not lucky enough to live where the city has laid the fiber, when you go to that website, one more time, Jeff. Go ahead and type in 380 Logan Drive. Sign up for updates. Okay, so I know it's a little disappointing, but we're getting there, right, Dr. Wack? All right. So I would encourage you, if you do not live in the current phase, which again is here at the airport, well, you wouldn't live here, you'd work here. If you work here at the airport, you work or live Carroll Lutheran Village, the neighborhoods around Fairway Drive, you can sign up. If you live outside of that, you can sign up for updates. Sign up for updates, and our marketing team will be in touch with you as we know what's happening next. We believe what's happening next, according to Dr. Wack, is we're working on the west side, right? With construction hopefully to come later this year. So we're getting there. It's a couple-year rollout, but we're getting there. So anything else? I'm sure you have lots of questions, and there are people that I'd like to introduce you to real quick before we break off to enjoy the rest of the food and drink. There are several people here from Ting that you can ask for questions. Adam Eisner in the back against the wall, the director of Ting Networks. Michael Goldstein in the red shirt over there, he's our vice president of marketing. Monica Webb, standing next to him, is our government relations representative. And Baylor Fuchs, who has sort of been introduced before, Baylor, is our general manager of our Charlottesville operation. So we've got lots of people in the room who are happy to answer your questions. They've been doing lots of installs in Charlotte. Residents, businesses have had the experience of getting started and getting going, so he's certainly a great resource to ask what it looks like next. And with that being said, I think my last thoughts here are cheers to the gig, and I can't wait to share it with you.
Thanks, everybody, for coming out. We still have plenty of time to mingle and have some drinks and eat some of these delicious snacks. Thank you again, Gigi, for coming all the way up from Washington. And welcome again to Westminster. Hope to see you up here again. Do some more fun gigabit things. This is just the end of the beginning. We still have a long, long way to go. There's many years of construction and hard work ahead of us, but we're off, and it's going to happen. Thank you very much.